there was some Twitter drama over art prices. All of this started with this tweet that was made by this VTuber called Siren. The tweet reads, "What? What do you mean this is only just 15 USD? Affordable 15 USD only, very straightforward, send reference and wait for your files to be delivered. This is a surprise me." If you guys don't know what surprise me is in terms of art commissions, I would like this. And the artist is like, cool. And they will give you the artwork. You don't get to see the step-by-step process. Typically in commissions, you'll be like, hey, I want you to make me a drawing of Pom Pom Purr drinking boba. And the artist will be like, cool. And then the artist will send you a sketch and be like, how do you like this? And you'll be like, looks good. And then the artist will color it in and it'll be like, okay, how do you like the color? And then the artist is like, cool, I'll add the rendering. Here you go. So there's a very step-by-step approval process that typically happens during commissions. In a surprise me commission, basically, you just get the end result. It is a case-by-case basis. Sometimes you can kind of request what you would like. Sometimes it's a little bit more vague. The artist uses their artistic creativity to give you something. So surprise me's are very fun, but they also typically do run a little bit cheaper in the art commission world because there is no step-by-step communication that happens. So these are examples of Siren's VTuber logos, and I have to say, these are absolutely gorgeous. All of these logos are beautiful in their own unique way. I absolutely am in love with this one, and this infinity one I just think is so creative. The color choice is beautiful, and I love the overlapping layers of the ribbons going inside the infinity rings. I feel like that kind of gives us a really fun juxtaposition of like a second infinity because everything is looped together. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Siren is clearly extremely talented, and these look absolutely beautiful. Oh, and by the way, their Twitter handle, I'm gonna absolutely mispronounce this. ssociaLsl. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, but yeah, that's our Twitter handle. If you're looking for beautiful art, you can check them out. And everyone in the comment section is super interested. We have Sienna being like, when this opens up, I would love to get this and a full logo. You know, we have Sora saying so cute. And you might be thinking, Kat, where is the controversy? And that is exactly what I was thinking too, because here we have an extremely talented artist who is selling beautiful logos and artwork for very affordable prices. And then Siren made this tweet a day later stating, hi, I'm gonna up the prices soon. Somebody DM me that I'm pricing my icons really low and I'm harming the market. I do not understand where they're coming from. I made this logo option a few months back and wanted to give back to my community. It was never my intention. Sorry. Siren adds, this made me really sad. It's never my intention to harm the market. I'm sorry for my fellow logo artist. This is our convo. Please don't send hate or anything. The artist is very nice and respectful and thankful for saying that my art deserves high price. Only the quote harms the market end quote hurts me, but no bad blood at all. Sending love to everybody. I'm always thankful. So let's read the DM here. So the DM says, hello, Siren. Sorry to disrupt you. I want to say that your logos are amazing, but as a graphic designer myself, I really think you should raise your prices. Having prices so low harms the market. I would understand if you were just starting up and for the first 10 logos you have low prices, but at almost 400 logos, I believe your work should be more fairly priced. Siren adds, hi, I understand where you're coming from. I do also understand my prices are low. I just added this logo icon just in the last months. I can't remember, but just this year. So I made it 15 USD, and I also wanted to give back to my fellow community affordable art that they could commission since some of my other prices as well are priced high enough for my work. Commenter says, that's totally understandable, but at least you should charge 40 or 50 USD for your cheapest logo option. Under that, it's very harmful. Let me talk a little business here with you guys, okay? I don't know if people like my business ramblings. Y'all can let me know in the comment section below. Always trying to make the YouTube content better. There is the whole commission market, and it's a very trouble and turbulent time for artists out here because the economy is not good. And when the economy is not good, people don't spend as much money. And the first thing that goes out is luxury goods. And luxury goods, obviously luxury bags, etc. Art is also considered a luxury good in the world of shrinking finances. So every time money is shrinking, the economy is a little tight, bills are harder to pay, people are going to cut out things that are deemed unnecessary. So in the art world, this is making it harder and harder for artists to make a living, which sucks. I am an artist myself. I love art and I want artists to be able to make fair livings. And I definitely, this is a whole other nuanced conversation, but I definitely think art is nowhere near as valued in the US culture as it should be, in my personal opinion. Anyways, if I was the absolute ruler of the universe, artists would get paid a lot more. You know, not that I have a play in changing this. I'm not playing The Sims here. So in the talk of the arts market and referring to harming the markets, right, there is what is determined as like a set market rate for services, and where if your skill is at a certain level, you are in a way unspokenly expected to charge prices that match your skill level. Syrian clearly is of an extremely high skill level creatively and talent-wise in terms of executing art and logos. They have other art on their page as well that you can go take a look at. Their overlays, everything, mwah, chef's kiss, beautiful. They're clearly a very talented artist. If we were to go by straight market rates, strictly looking at your skill, you would be around 40 or 50 50 USD. So because you are charging so much lower than the standard market rates, you are quote unquote hurting the market. This is not my opinion. I'm just saying it from a strictly business perspective when you're looking at it, right? On paper, allegedly, it would be hurting the market for an artist of this skill level to be charging way below their skill level. Because then what this does is two things. One, it causes other artists who look at Syrian, new artists, and they're like, oh, Syrian's art is so beautiful. Well, Syrian's only charging 15 USD for their work. I then need to price competitively to make sure I can get commissions as well. So I would then need to lower my prices in order to match my competitor, right? If I was a local artist, so that I could still get commissions. Another thing too is for beginner artists who maybe aren't as good as Syrian, they're gonna look at Syrian and be like, wow, Syrian is so talented and they're only charging 15 USD. Does that mean that I need to charge even less? 15 USD for a logo design, I don't know how fast Syrian makes it, right? I'm guessing it's minimum an hour. That's $15 an hour for work, which is a pretty low rate, depending on where you live, right? I live in California, that is below minimum wage here. It's like $15.50 here an hour, something like that. So that's the second thing. The third thing actually that it does too is it influences the perspective of the buyer, because the buyer would be like, well, this person sells it for this cheap, so why are these other artists pricing their work the way they are? It would make them think the other artists who are pricing their work $40 and $50 a logo is overcharging. It would make the consumer think that the other artists are scamming, essentially, and that Syrian is the market rate. I hope that's coming across, where it would impact how consumers also view what prices should be. It would make them think that the lower price is what it should be, when it's actually not the case, when the lower price is actually the outlier. The other thing though, artists can charge whatever they want for prices. Where I stand, in my personal opinion, is I want artists to be able to make a comfortable living doing art. So I personally want artists to charge what is a fair rate for the amount of hours they were putting in and the amount of skill level they contain. Do I think the 15 USD for the logos is fair for Syrian? From an outsider perspective, I think personally Syrian should charge more. Nothing about the market rate, nothing about that, whatever, right? We're throwing that out the window. I just think it must take Syrian more than an hour probably to make these logos. $15 an hour USD. I don't know where Syrian lives, right? But I feel like a lot of the US is a low rate. It's lower than what Syrian deserves for the amount of talent, the amount of work, and the amount of creativity they have in making these logos. Every artist gets to set their own prices. So if Syrian is comfortable with 15 USD as their logo price, which they state that they are, although they do intend to raise their prices, right? But they stated that their intention was to make affordable commissions that people in their community can afford, which is really kind and really thoughtful. Syrian understands, yep, I am acknowledging that I am pricing my logos lower than what the market rate is. I know I could charge more, but I'm making the deliberate choice to not do that, to make my art more affordable and accessible to more people. And that's a very noble and great thing to do. And as long as Syrian's okay with it, I think that's completely fair. Going back to the whole conversation about the market rate, having lower prices impacts on our market rates. Typically this issue is with the market as a whole. It's generally not an individual issue, right? Syrian raising their prices won't change the fact that there's still going to be a whole bunch of artists out there who are underpricing themselves. So I do think that reaching out to an artist with the intention of being like, you are hurting the market, is a really unfair statement to make, I feel like. I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt. I feel like the commenter or the person who DM'd Syrian had a good intention, right? Where they recognize, well, you are not ignoring the market rate thing. You are also still undercharging for the amount of skill, talent, and time it takes you to make this logo. And they probably just want Syrian to also get paid fairly as well. That's me out here trying to give benefit of doubt, right? But again, this is not something that one individual can change. You can't go around like DMing every single artist that has low rates, expecting them to change their rates. The market, again, is a whole combined issue. It is not an individual issue. I will say each individual does add up to the entire whole, but still, right? That's like saying in terms of the US economy and the US economy being bad, being like, well, the US economy is really bad because this one person, you are making the choice to do this. It is a collective. So instead of just targeting Syrian as an individual, another option would be to make some content teaching artists what a fair rate is and how they can fairly price themselves. I'm rambling so much, so I hope you guys are down for this type of like more rambly, yappy style content, right? But if you're an artist and you're wondering how much you should charge for your work, a basic rule of thumb, if you are brand new, okay? How many hours did it take you to make that piece? Multiply that by your minimum wage. If you're a brand new, crispy new artist, never done a commission before in your life, that's the bare minimum minimum you should charge? Because I know so many of you beginner artists are like, I will do a commission for $5. I was there, so I'm not blaming you whatsoever, right? And I was like, dude, why would anybody want to commission me? I'm so new. There's so many other talented artists. So I'm just going to make my prices really low to compete. But it was so low. I was charging like $5 for every piece that took me 4 hours to make. So please make sure you get paid fairly. The bare minimum, okay, is just use your minimum wage hourly rate. Roughly estimate, if you're selling a VTuber logo, if a VTuber logo takes you 1 hour, then whatever your minimum wage is, you can do that, something like that. That's like the bare minimum, right? But as you gain experience, then you can raise your prices because you have that experience in your back pocket. And then you could, price like $20 an hour, $25 an hour, $30 an hour to make it more fair. Fair for yourself, I'm talking, okay? I want you guys to be paid fairly. I want you guys to make money. And I want you guys to not break your back doing commissions for so cheap because it sucks. And it happens so often with artists, man. We have Airlia Graphics stating, you do you, LMAO. This artist isn't concerned about the market. They're concerned about their own reach probably being low and thinking artists who charge low prices are at fault for them not getting attention. I do agree that you should raise your prices, but I think purely off your experience and the quality of your logos. If you're happy with these prices, I feel like they're worth the time you spend on them, then you literally don't need to listen to anybody telling you to change a thing. I absolutely agree. I do think this is definitely a pessimistic way to look at it, but it's definitely a possibility too, right? That maybe the other person who DM'd them, who is an artist who DM'd Syrian, maybe they also are a logo creator and then they see Syrian as a competitor. And because Syrian's prices are lower, then they're worried that Syrian may take their customers away or steal their customers. Again, can't steal customers. You don't own people, right? But maybe they're worried about that. That would be, I guess, like the other way to look at it. Sienna says, I think you should be able to price them however you want since it's your product. That being said, they are so good and they're worth whatever price you set. Susu says, sounds more like a frustrated artist that hopes if you price up that he gets more clients. But sure, you can price them up. Your art, your price. Doesn't matter if others think you're harming the market. Every artist must look for themselves in the business. Syrian says, I'll be pricing them up. Things like these just make me really anxious. Bunny Amora says, harming the market is insane. You are offering affordable art for people who can't afford more expensive art. You are doing a service for people. I agree you deserve more money, but you're not harming anyone. Syrian says, they are an artist as well, so I get the frustration that having me lower the prices makes other go for the affordable one. I don't know, honestly, I'm sad at this point. Violette says, first, you should be paid whatever you think your time is worth. Don't let anybody dictate how to price your content because it's, quote, harming the market, end quote. That is super cringe. Second, as somebody who does things on a budget, you give us little guys an amazing option. Syrian says, yes, I was also thinking that. I want to give affordable options for others. As somebody who's budgeting too, it's nice to get art as well, even if I don't have much money. Syrian adds, they messaged me again and told me uploading a screenshot of our convo was a breach of privacy when I didn't show their name or picture. They got mad at me for posting this. Echo says, your feelings are valid and what you say about them were nice. I love your works and creations and I'm grateful that your prices are affordable, especially because I'm limited due to budget. But at the end of the day, I think you price them however you think it should be priced. Syrian says, thank you, Echo, it means a lot. Megu says, it's not a breach of privacy, they're just trying to scare you in a lot of different ways. I would just block them and not engage with them anymore for your own well-being. Price, art, convo, you literally didn't do a single thing wrong. Syrian says, as an anxious person, they're doing a great job, I might say. That sucks. I'm so sorry to Syrian on a side note. Like, I'm so sorry because I don't like the whole narrative of, oh my God, you breached my privacy so you can't show DMs. Before you guys take this out of context, okay? Syrian did it the most respectful way possible by cropping out the name and no identifiable information was provided, okay? The whole thing, the whole notion of, oh, you're breaching my privacy by showing DMs, then don't DM people disrespectful stuff. It would be a breach of privacy if you leaked DMs revealing the person's name and information and sensitive info. Maybe they were confiding in you about something that happened in their life. Maybe they were telling you something intimate and in private. That would be a breach of privacy. This is somebody that DM Syrian being like, I am unhappy with your art prices and you're hurting the market. You're causing problems. You're not allowed to DM people uncomfortable things that you didn't feel comfortable enough just to, comment under their post. You felt that it wasn't something you were comfortable with posting publicly. So instead you reached out to them privately about it, sneakily in secrets, and then you're mad at Syrian for sharing it. Come on, right? If you didn't want these DMs aired out, then you shouldn't have sent them in the first place. That's at least my personal take, right? Again, do not leak private information about people. That's not cool. But this wasn't anything private. Syrian didn't even show their name. There is no identifiable information. All Syrian said was they are an artist. There's millions of artists on Twitter. Exactly who would that person be? No idea, right? I think Syrian did nothing wrong. Syrian genuinely did nothing wrong. People got mad about that. Like, like you're mad that somebody is so talented and they're kind enough to offer their art at an affordable price. But in great news, Syrian had made a tweet 20 hours ago stating, I just woke up and came back with this waitlist. The support is crazy. I have to review them first and will only be able to pick a few at a time. I hope people don't mind waiting their turn. The waitlist has 112 people. And Syrian's gonna send proposals next week, and they'll take time to organize and fix the queue and review everything before they send them out. Thank you, everybody. Some potential business advice for Syrian, unsolicited business advice, take it if you want. I'm just yapping out here, okay? But I think this could be helpful for you guys as well if you guys are artists, right? This is amazing. I am so glad Syrian has so many people interested in their artwork. They deserve it because their art is so cool, so amazing. They're so talented. If you are an artist, you're having trouble keeping up with the amount of commissions that you have, from a business perspective, the actual strategy is to double your price, which will then have the amount of interest you have. And you might be like, oh my God, Kat, but like, why would I want to have the amount of interest? So that you can get a better work-life balance, okay? If Syrian were to double their prices from 15 USD to 30 USD, they would get probably half the amount of people who want logos, like half the people to commission them. But let's run the numbers. That would mean that they would have roughly 60 people interested in commissions instead of 112. Syrian would get paid the exact same amount for half the amount of work. So if you think of it that way, recommend doubling your prices out of the blue for no reason, unless obviously you're undercharging yourself. But in this case, right, if you are an artist and you find that you're very overwhelmed with the amount of commissions you have, interest that you have for your comms, and you are staying up 16 hours a day, bending over backwards to get them completed, but you still want to make that money, doubling your prices is one strategy that you can employ to make sure that you can get a better work-life balance for yourself as an artist, but still make the same amount of money. Obviously, again, completely up to Syrian and you as an artist as to how much you want to charge, but that's an option. And then if you do also want to still keep your artwork accessible for your audience, you could offer limited run discounts. A social media strategy is you could make a whole giveaway event surrounded by this. So what Syrian could do is do a monthly giveaway for logo designs, where on the first of every single month, they open up a giveaway on Twitter where they're like, hey, I'm going to give away 3 logo designs. Make sure you follow me. Make sure you comment something under the post. Well, you need to comment probably like a ref sheet or something, so Syrian has something to work with, right? What Syrian can do is close that giveaway after 5 days, and then they can also put in the giveaway tweet, I will open up commissions for half off of my logo designs for only 1 day. And then what this does is it does 2 things. One, it creates urgency, because whenever there's an urgency, whenever something is going to close or something is going to be a limited run, people are more likely to feed into that urgency and want to hop on that. And then also secondly, too, it will serve as driving interest about Syrian and their artwork. It will drive more traffic back to Syrian's Twitter page and get them more followers. And then third, also, by doing a giveaway and then offering a 50% discount, people would enter the giveaway, and in their head, they'll start thinking about their logo. They will get excited about a logo. They'll get excited about wanting one. And then if they don't win, they've kind of already like marinated on the idea of getting a logo from Syrian, and they're probably more inclined to go and commission Syrian now because they kind of were thinking about getting a logo and getting really excited about it. So that's the third social media strategy. Fourth, obviously, you are doing limited runs. So where you can still for the rest of the month run commissions and get paid your fair rates, you still are opening up the option of affordable logos for people who are interested in getting your logo, but maybe don't have as much funds in their pocket. This is just some social media strategy out here. Let me know in the comment section below if you like my strategizing, if you like me throwing these 2 cents out here. I'm only saying this not to try to backseat Syrian in any way as to how they run their socials or do their commissions, but I just think that this would be very helpful to artists in general who are also trying to start up their social media pages as to how maybe you can get a good work-life balance, make the same amount of money or more, and drive more traffic back into your socials. Best of luck to Syrian. Their artwork is beautiful. They are extremely talented. I will link their Twitter down below, so if you're interested in checking them out or getting commissions from them, check them out. They have a VGen in which they do comms. And if you like this content, I would love it if you would like and subscribe, and check me out on Twitch. I stream 3 days a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays at 6 p.m. PST. And I hope to catch you guys in another video.